Wow, back to the sprue. Hey, it's time to have a look at the doors for the Fatboy. So let's get them off. We'll just cut down here and down here and through here. All right, we'll put that back. Now, just a little hot tip. For those who are new to this world of hobbying, you probably noticed that I've cut the sprues quite long away from the body, okay? The reason why I do that is so that we're not damaging this, right? What I'll do now that I've got them off and there's no pressure, right, I can just go like this. I'll bring my light in so I can see. Hopefully you guys can see, and I'll just run my blade just along and like so. Now, if I get it on the right light, you'll notice I've got a couple little raised bits, right? I'll file that back with my carbon fiber flat edges, and they've got sticky sandpaper on. That's the best way to do it. If you just go straight in and hacking, and if you just go in and straight hacking, look, yeah, can you? Look, we've all done it, run along here, but you only need to scallop it in the wrong spot and you've stuffed up your edge, right? So take your time and then remove it properly by filing it down, right? That's what I do. So where are we at? Where are we at with the Fatboy? Right, so this is where I'm at with the Fatboy. I've had an update. I've cut the windscreen pillar and part of the roof off. Yeah, it's gone. Structurally, the windscreen pillars were too fine. For me to embrace them, I'd be impeding on the windscreen fitting in, and it just didn't look right, and it's not the brief. So it's gone. It's gone. So where am I at now? Quick recap. Windscreen pillar gone. I've had to reinforce under here, which I'll file back later because it does stick out a little bit, right? And I don't want any problems, right? So I've done that. So that I've cleaned all that up around there, looking good. Just trimmed off the door frames, the windscreen pillar frames, right? So I'm just in the process of filing them down now to get the right level, okay? So, and then I'll work my way around. So she's starting to take profile. So super happy so far. So I'll crack on. I won't bore you with me filing down these little bits, and then we'll work out what we're going to do next. So I took the liberty of taking down this edge here. So sometimes you got to go forward to go back, right? And what I've done, here's my door. I've just sat the door in there, and she's sitting a bit proud, if you can see that. Where's my pointer? Where are you, pointer? Where are you? There you go, pointer. Right, she's sitting quite proud there, and I've left that deliberately because I'm putting a piece in here, right? And this piece is going to sit, I think, on this top deck, and then I'm going to have to mould some putty around and smooth it down and make it all look sexy. So this is the size piece I'm putting in, right? So if, as you can see, it butts up to that height. So then I can work that bit. So, because the door has, the top of the door where the window meets kind of scallops a little bit. So I kind of want to keep that shape. I don't want to lose that shape, right? I mean, if you don't have to, I don't have to, right? And that piece is going to fit in there. Don't know how that's going to look, but that's what we're going to do. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at so far. I'll continue on, and I'll come back when I've got something else to show you. Right, as you can see, I've got this little panel sort of roughly made up, ready to go. It's just about ready to cement in. So on this particular Roadster, and also the real ones, there's no roof. There's no right. So we don't have to worry about making like this, like a flappy thing for it to go up. So so I'll take off. I'll show you. It's like a disc, okay? And we're just gonna it'll be kind of level with there, but sitting on top there. Remember what I said about the door? So let's just, a little bit fiddly, but nothing that can't be achieved. Everyone can have a crack at this, right? So it'll sit sort of like yay. All right, so we've got a little bit of wriggle room there, particularly facing that door edge down, or, you know, what you don't want to do is take out too much, right? So, you know my saying, measure 10 times, cut once, particularly with this sort of stuff. So as you can see, it's just about ready to go in, I reckon. So I'm super happy with that. It's just about ready to go in. So that's going to be the profile. So it's starting to look good. I know I keep saying that, but it's sort of, it's starting to take some shape now. So I'll crack on and probably get the, oh no, before I go, I was going to show you what tools I use, right? As I do, what tools I use. Obviously styrene, right? I don't know what number it is, all right? So what tools I use? Styrene, let's get rid of that. I use, obviously, my trusties. I use the half file, use my XL, use the Sharpie, right? No, Pointer doesn't get, he doesn't get a mention, so we'll nick him off. Pencil, trusty tool, yeah, always use my trusty, yeah, I use that to sort of rip down, you know, to roughly where I want to be. I find the stone is good, but the 36 grit is really good too for ripping down once you get it moving, you know. The other thing I use is a couple of sanding sticks, right? These are from my friends at Icky Sticky. So I rip down with 100. So I basically use it as a file. Okay, instead of using that, I use it as that, and then I can really get around to where I want to be, and then I rip down with 180, clean it up, and then I can go down through the grades to get that roughness out of it. It's still there, that roughness edge is still out of it. Not too concerned about the rough edge, because when I put some 2-component putty in there, that'll give it something to really grip to, that sort of coarse edge. So, but that's what I use. It's really simple. You don't need a lot of tools, right? So that's the tools I use. That's the end result. That's going to go on there. Enough talk from me. I'll crack on and I'll come back when I've got something else to show you. Well, we've got a little bit more progress on the Fatboy. What have I done? Well, I got that disc in there, and it's looking schmicko, sitting quite nice. I've just put a little bit of putty in there. I don't think it needs any 2-component because it's all cemented in there. Oh, I've got the base in, so I can't show you. It's all cemented in there, so it's really quite nice. The reason why I have the base in there was to try dry fit one of the seats to make sure, because I'm going to be doing custom made roll cage. All right, so it's going to be, because I'm trying to get a sort of a modern Fatboy look with a few old school sort of styles, and I'm going to go the roll cage with the bars out the back of it. Hopefully that looks all right. I didn't like the idea of the space agey bloody head protection thing at the back that some of them are getting around. Looked a bit poxy. So that's done. So where am I at with the doors? Well, I tell you, I've got to those doors, hey. These have been challenging. These have been challenging, right? So with the doors, I've got the door. Let's get that in there, or thumbs today. As you can see, that's sitting, hopefully you can see it, let me bring that's sitting really, really nice. All right. And so is the other side. But what I did, you know, when you're doing custom models and you alter them from out of the box, there's always a bit of a yin and yang. Something's not going to go anymore. Something doesn't fit anymore. Something where something went is now void and there's nothing there. Well, with this, with the doors and the door trims, the window, bottom of the windows sat in there. So there was a bit of a cavity between the door trims. Okay, so what I've had to do, I've had to make up a little polystyrene evergreen rod. Okay, and I stuck it in there, and as you can see by the black, that's sitting too high. So I hope that makes sense. So the door trim's in there. See how it's sitting too high? So one I prepared earlier, and these are these are time chewers. This has taken a while. So I got this one in, and as you can see, it's just slightly proud. Okay, now I went back to my resource page with all my photos, and it is slightly raised, the interior. So there you go. So that sits a lot better. Okay, so still not 100% on the colour yet, but I think it's going to be like the yellowy sort of colour that I said in the previous episodes. So where are we at? I've got to put a nice little piece of evergreen polystyrene. Now, this is number 218. Sorry, I didn't know the number for the other one because I didn't keep the packaging for it, right? I just sort of go for it. It's in my drawer. So this is going to go in there, and it's going to work its way all the way around. So it'll be nice and neat, but I won't put it on until all this is prepped up and clean. And then that'll give me like a new molding edge. All right. It'll be the same color as the car. So it won't be, I don't think I'm going to black it out. Maybe, I don't know yet. See how difficult that is to mask up. So that's going to go there. And also, while we're on the doors, I'm thinking about putting magnets in so you can take the doors off, right? So you can have a look at the beautiful interior and that sort of stuff. I know you can see it from the top, but I've got a couple of different sets of magnets that I'm playing with at the moment. And there's my little magnets, and these are even smaller. All right, you can get these on Amazon. I think Amazon or eBay, one of the two. Just micro magnets, I think, is probably what you put in the search bar. They're great. They're strong. They're small. But I'm just trying to work out where are you, Pointer? He's never where I want him to be, eh? Pointer. Okay. So I'm thinking about drilling them in there, the magnet. But the problem I have is on the other side of here, right? My magnets aren't small enough, so I might have to drill a fine little hole on the back there so that it goes clip and locks into place. I haven't figured that out yet. If it's all too hard, I won't do it. But if it's not too hard, I'll give it a crack. So that's where we're at with the Fatboy. So I'll get back to you guys when I've got something else to show you. Right, as you can see, it's really taken some shape now. All the doors are fitting schmicko. Bonnet fits good. Everything fits really, really well. The wheel arches are looking good. So it's basically all in primer. I've just had to put a little bit of the old dissolve putty. Sorry, there you go. Let's get that in focus for you. Dissolve putty. Just in there was a couple of little imperfections around there, but I love what I've done around here. This little line around here is crisp and it runs in with the doors. It's really super neat. So we just got to do a little bit of work around that, and just a little bit more filling around where I've cemented the little roller cage thingamajiggeries on. But that's really taking a lot of good shape. So I'm calling the body pretty much done. Apart from just a couple little bits around here, the body's done. So I'll let that dry out now, and we'll get on that later, because obviously I need to crack on and get the rolling chassis and get the interior done so we can fit it all in, try it all on, make sure everything fits okay. Because, you know, if you go to paint now and paint everything up and so, there's a disaster around the corner, then you've stuffed your beautiful paint job, right? So that's it. That's all we're going to do until it's rolling chassis. When it's a rolling chassis and the interior is in, everything fits, we'll then get back on this and we'll rub it right down, absolutely Mickey Mouse, and then we'll give it the one-shot primer, and then straight to colour, base coat, and then 2K clear coat. So, yep, looking good. Alrighty, so this is where we're at with the body. I'm pretty satisfied. It's all the body work's done. There was just a few little bits and pieces that were giving me the willies, just around the roll cage area. In hindsight, I probably should have drilled out the holes and ran the rod through. That might have made it a bit neater, but I'll end up filling it. So as you can see, it's still drying, and it's got a super light guide coat over the whole thing. So I don't know if you can see it, but see that bit there? That's showing it's sunk back a little bit there. So I'll pick that up in the final process. So we'll let this dry for a little, and see the little pinhole there? I thought I got them all, but every time, right? So we'll let this dry right out, but super happy. We'll let it dry out for a while. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a start on the chassis and the engine and get all the running gear running. So this is it. The body work is done. Well, hang on. Let's just put the bottom on and whack a door on to make it look a bit more complete, eh? Been a lot of work, but, you know, pretty rewarding. And if you guys want to have a crack at it yourself, you can with anything. There you go. That's the body. I'm super happy. It's taken a long time. This is not out of the box kit. You know, we're doing lots of modification work, and as you can see, we have had to, make up a part to go in there. Oh, also, let's get rid of that. What I've done underneath, I had to reinforce it. Okay, I was just that piece of styrene put in was a little bit thin for my liking, but that's all I had in stock. So so I've just reinforced it with another little bit there, and I might even still put a little bit of 2-component putty just in the corner there to hold it a little bit stronger, because what we don't want it to do, we don't want it to start cracking around here when I start manhandling it. So, but I don't think it will. Well, famous last words, right? So there you go. Body done. Let's crack on to the next stage.